Hey! Welcome to another edition of the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. I am Jammer.
I am Shagdog.
We're doing an Asahi Super Dry.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. That's my favorite dry beer besides Bud Dry and Michelob Dry.
Yeah.
This is better though. This is one of the original dry beers too. Before all that, Japanese rice beer, rice lager, 5% ABV. It's a 65 on Beer Advocate. It is brewed by Asahi Breweries. This one might be brewed in Canada because I know they do some brewing in Canada for the Americas. I'm not going to read all that because that's pretty big. Yeah, good beer.
On the back here it says Asahi Super Dry is brewed to the authentic Japanese recipe to deliver its dry, crisp taste and quick, clean finish that complements all occasions. This distinctive dry taste is known as a karakuchi, a taste we've dedicated to mastering by using only the finest ingredients and continuously advancing our brewing technology. Karakuchi, dry and crisp with a quick, clean finish. 5.2.
Now this one might be old. I don't know, heat, cold. It smells a little skunky.
It says right here, Asahi beer is brewed from the quality ingredients by using our pure cultured yeast and our advanced brewing techniques. Asahi beer has excellent richness, truly refreshing drinkability, and satin smoothness. All year round, you can enjoy the great taste of Asahi beer. All right, so the Asahi beer cap. It has Asahi on the front, and it has it in Japanese there too.
Oh, it's Japanese?
Yeah, so, all right.
Hey, it's my turn.
What do you mean it's your turn?
1, 2. I did one, and then you did one.
So, I do one and you do one.
I'm next.
What?
I mean, you can be next if you want.
Well, not if you're going to cry about it.
Oh, well,
go ahead and do it.
I'd rather you
No,
go.
no. You got to cry.
I'm not crying. I'm
Whine
just saying.
and all that
1,
stuff.
2, then you're going out of order.
I was going to give it to you anyway, but because you were so anxious, I held back on it.
I'd let you go because I think you like going in a second. In case I get it, then you're very determined to get it. Yeah. Shit.
Well, it's got a nice golden color. The head quickly disappeared. Of course, I didn't really put much of a head on it because I was trying to pour it down so I can actually see it. So.
It got a little skunkiness to it, Jammer.
It's grassy.
Corny. A little grassy.
Grassy floral notes.
A little skunky, but not bad. It's the grassiness.
I'm not picking skunk up.
Not much skunk like some other ones. Well, it's there, almost there.
It's the grassiness that you're smelling.
Well, it smells like a pale lager. Euro pale lager.
All right, let's give it a drink. Cheers. Or what is
Cheers.
it?
Sayonara.
Don't know what he got, Mr. Roboto.
Oh, yeah.
Arigato.
Miyagi.
Arigato. Mr. Roboto. Don't know what he got.
Wax on, wax off.
Yes, very smooth.
Yeah. I think it's a little skunkish. Not real bad, but a little bit. A little bit cardboard.
Very
skunkish.
smooth. I'm tasting the rice and kind of like a corn taste in it too. It might not be corn in there. It might be just the rice.
Super dry. There might be some corn in there. Could be rice, but it does taste almost on the verge of skunkiness. That grassy floral hop.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Not as good as last man, but this one might have been in and out of the heat.
Snap, crackle, pop.
There's a date right there. I can't read it. Can you read it?
Well, yes, Shagdog. It says 12/10/21.
So it's good until 12/10/21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not as good as I remember though. It was pretty good dry lager.
This one isn't that good.
No, I think it might have been. Now, this one I didn't refrigerate as soon as I got home because I had too many beers in the fridge, so it was outside the fridge. I mean, I had to cover no light into it, but maybe that's the reason. It was on a dry shelf, so it was warm, room temperature at the place I got it. So who knows? Might have been in and out of the
Ah,
cold.
this is why you
What happened?
product of Italy.
This one was made in Italy. No wonder it tastes like a Euro Pale Lager. They used to make them in Canada. It say product of it. It does say product of Italy. That's horrible. No wonder it tastes like a Euro Pale Lager. The original Asahi tastes like not like a Budweiser, but similar with the old Bud Dry, where you drink it and you. That's good, but I'm thirsty. Let me chug more. You know.
This has a floral grassiness to it, but it
It's,
also has like the rice and I'm picking up like a corn flavor to it.
yeah, I think Italy fucked it up. Like they made it like a Euro Pale Lager because the Asahi Super Dry is supposed to be like a damn
Now, let me
almost
ask you this
like an
question:
adjunct lager, rice
why
lager,
is it that
like a
Italy
Budweiser.
is making Japanese beer?
I don't know because Canada was making something. We had the Canada one time.
I'm just curious because it seems to me they went from Canada to Italy.
Yeah,
Italy was part of the Axis power with Germany and Japan.
maybe they're maybe Italy came to them and said, "Hey, you're supposed to be letting us brew some of your beer as part of the original agreement." Who knows?
Now, I got a question for you. Do you think these people who lost their property in World War II should get their property back?
Well, if the building got destroyed, really.
Well,
Well, they
here's
should
my
at least have the land if they own the land.
here's my question. You see, like, you see the people that have like the paintings, jewelry,
Yeah.
uh, property in the sense of land or house. Do you
Right.
think they should be able to get their property back? Do you think
Yeah.
their descendants have a claim to that property?
I mean, how they lose it?
Well, some lost it by selling it to the Germany military. Some of them have a fake or a written receipt. The people who bought, suppose like with the paintings, German people who had the paintings, they had receipts showing that they bought it, supposedly.
Oh, you're talking about the shit that the Germans stole.
Well, I'm just talking about property in general during World War
Okay.
II.
You're not talking about the shit that supposedly when Germany invaded these different countries or took over these different countries, they took artwork back to Germany.
Well, I'm talking about artwork. I'm talking
Yeah.
about jewelry. I'm talking about
If that shit
anything.
was stolen by the German military or government or whatever, that shit should go back to the original people, even if they sold it to Germans. Well, you just lost your money.
Well, how does that work?
I guess.
I mean,
Well, who's going to enforce it? Yeah.
because here's my thing. I had a painting. I turned around and sold it for 100 marks because the German people said, "I'm giving you 100 marks. You take it or you're going to die," type thing. But there's a receipt. I got 100 marks, whether I did or not. There's a receipt for it.
Okay.
And I didn't get it. Now my great grandchildren turns around and says, "Hey, that painting was in our family before all that time, and it finally popped up, and look, there it is. Let's put in a claim for it."
Yeah.
Well, technically, there's a receipt showing.
Someone bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I sold it because I knew I was going to die, and I knew I needed money to get out, or I needed money to turn around and
Right. That's
and
illegal.
I sold it anyway.
That's a legal issue. I don't know about all that shit.
And as far as the Germany stealing stuff and taking it back to Germany and all that stuff, my whole thing about that is, if that was the case, uh, you know, why hasn't other people been able to get their property back? Not just the paintings, their
Right.
physical property,
They
their
might end
land,
up dead and nobody knew about
their
it.
land. Well, the
Yeah.
land was stolen. Well, no, the land was confiscated by the government. And then when the government took over, that ran Germany out, they took it over, and now I don't have my property.
Yeah, well, the government should have took care to find out who owned it originally and give it back to those people or their children or something.
Well, they never did.
Of course, because the government's like the worst scam artists of all time, right?
Right. So my whole thing about all that stuff is, why is it that we should give back the paintings?
Well, I guess the only way you could do it is if
You know
they
why?
Why?
I tell you why they make a stench about the paintings. Because the paintings are worth like 20 million euros today.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're trying to make a big deal about it, you
Yeah.
know. And whether it's a legitimate receipt or no legitimate receipt, whether it got stolen or not, they're claiming, hey, it wasn't right because it was during the war.
Right.
But you know, the
Damn.
victor goes the spoils.
You went straight to downer shit again.
Yeah, well, like I say,
Yeah, that's why I say about the Indians um, here in America, indigenous American Indians, whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry, but you didn't defend your land, and you got to take it from you. That shit's happened all through history.
you know, do I have a high respect for the Indians?
Yeah, I do too. But I mean, people say, well, we should give them compensation too. Matter of fact, I love the Indians more than some other ones because they have assimilated so much where, I
The
mean, some
Indians,
of them might still speak their native language, but a lot of them speak English.
they're
Some,
more American than
yeah, some of them still live on reservations, but
they're still more American,
than some other ones that come over here and try to change America. Yeah.
or have grew up here
Yeah.
and claiming that they've
Yeah,
been
did we break treaties?
oppressed.
Yeah, we shook on it. Yeah, we're not going to take this land. Then we came back and took that one and moved somewhere else. Yeah, that happens. But some of them stood up for it, and it killed a few Americans, and a lot of them got killed too. You know, at least they were brave enough to stand up. You know,
My whole thing is this:
some of them.
as far as the Indians go, I have more respect for them and more. I find more honor
Yeah,
in them because they, like you said, they assimilated. They're more American
yeah,
than most, and you know, even though they've been done wrong on certain occasions and everything like that, they still love this country.
right.
You take people who have been born never oppressed, but claim their family members were, or whatever like
Yeah.
that, and want reparations for it and all that stuff like that. You know, hold on. If you follow that family tree back, were you brought from China, Ireland, Africa? I don't know. You know, follow
Yeah,
it back. Why did you come from Ireland and China? Were you indentured servants that signed a contract, your forefathers?
yeah.
Were you sold into slavery by your own people, then transported? I don't know. You have to look back on the history of it, you
Right,
know. And if we look back on the history and find out, well, you were sold into slavery by your own people, or you signed an indentured contract,
right.
your great grandparents or whatever signed an indentured contract in order to come to America, then that's not
I don't think
our fault.
even if you're captured by Americans as slaves, or even if somehow Irish people came over and boat, hey, guess what, Irish fuckers, you're gonna be working for us, you know, without a contract. Yeah, guess what, you're going to the fucking sweatshops or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that
There's
was a
nothing
choice.
I should get up for that at all. Now, if they were still alive, yeah, maybe they should get some compensation. But 2 generations later, 3 generations later, hell no.
Mm.
You weren't a slave.
No.
You weren't an indentured servant. Should I get money from Scandinavian people because Vikings used to come to Ireland and rape all the Irish people? And you know, I'm apparently probably got some Scandinavian in me. I'm very upset about it. I want compensation. Am I going to get compensation? No. But that's almost the same thing, like whining about, I want compensation because you came over here and raped my people
Yeah.
and took them back to
Yeah.
Scandinavia as slaves. Yeah, who knows?
I find that very.
It's retarded.
Yeah.
The most retarded shit. And there was nobody talking about this for the past 20, 30, probably since the 70s. I mean, occasionally you'd have a few here and there. Oh, yeah, I want my whatever amount of acres.
Well, the thing about it is, you had the fringes of society. The fringes of society used to be on the outskirts. Would hardly get heard.
Yeah.
When it came to this kind of nonsense.
Right. Now they got the internet,
sense.
media.
Now they got the internet, and the media is trying to promote a racial divide, trying to pit everybody. They're trying to push this agenda of separating the races, putting us at war with each other, so that we're not noticing the people who are puppet masters pulling all the strings.
Right. Yeah, it's so obvious.
And you ask,
too.
if you ask, I tell you, I know a lot of black people in particular. I know a lot of European people and Indian people too. And I have to tell you, the ones that have been successful, all of them that were successful, they took responsibility for their own actions. They used common sense. They worked hard.
Yeah.
and made sacrifices in order to move up.
Right. And most of them aren't into all that.
Yeah.
But there are some who've done just exactly that, who are brainwashed into this. Yeah. They're like the whole, what was that? The brainwash thing. Like, oh, yeah, you owe us. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, white people are all, whatever, racist. It did, born as racist and shit like that.
So now, do you believe in the Book of Enoch and Inky and all that stuff?
I don't know. I don't recall the book. I mean, I've heard of the book of
The
Enoch.
Book of Enoch talks
The
about
UFOs.
aliens.
Yeah, that was taken out of the Bible, right?
Yeah.
But do you know there's in the Catholic Bible? I never read the Catholic Bible. I was in St. James or whatever. In the Catholic Bible, they don't have that, but they do have 2 or 3 other books that aren't in the St. James or the other Bibles, because when those churches broke away from the Catholic Church, they took those parts of the Bible. So everybody took parts of the Bible out, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it was stuff about the Virgin Mary, and, whatever. But I never knew that until recently. That there's,
So what's in the books?
I don't know.
You're Catholic.
Let's ask
Can't you
Google.
get a Catholic Bible?
Well, I can't get one like right now.
Mm.
What books in the Catholic Bible were removed by Protestants?
Protestants.
Yeah, whatever.
According to AskingLot.com, what books of the
Martin
Bible
Luther.
did Protestants remove? One of the 7 Old Testament books rejected by Martin Luther and subsequent Protestants was the Book of Ecclesiasticus,
That's
alternatively known by its Old Latin title Sirach.
That's still most.
The other books rejected by Protestantism are Judith, Tobit, Wisdom,
Judith.
Baruch, and 1 and 2 Maccabees.
Yeah. So a lot of those, a couple of them are in Maccabees are in some of them. Depends on which Bible it is, the new, whatever, the different Bibles there are, St. James and this one, that one. But some of those, like Jude, is not in some of them. And, yeah. I never read it. I don't think I read it. I might have read Jude before, but Jude's.
I'm just curious because they were talking about.
But yeah, Enoch, the Romans, when they put the Bible together, the New Testament, I think they took the Book of Enoch out, right?
I'm not sure.
Let's check. I don't think that's.
But if you look at the history, you'll see that almost every ancient culture has a alien type spacecraft or something in their
the
drawings
Book of
and stuff.
Enoch in the Bible.
According to Wikipedia, the Book of Enoch is an ancient Hebrew apocalyptic religious text, ascribed by tradition to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them. I mean, even the one prophet, they said he was carried up in a wheel of fire or some shit, a chariot of fire.
Yeah.
Another one had a wheel with faces in it, or some shit. Yeah, you never know. But,
just curious because remembering earlier we mentioned the Big Bang Theory, the show, and everything, and then I was thinking about how atheists and agnostics always claim, well, I don't believe in it, but they believe in the Big Bang. They believe in something was there before there was anything.
Or something came from nothing.
Yeah. And you can't have something come from nothing.
Right.
And if something is there, where did it come from?
Right. So, there's someone say, well, there's 2 atoms. Well, where does fucking 2 atoms come from?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, the problem I have is when they talk about, they say, well, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in this, and da 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 da. And they say, okay, what do you believe in? I believe in aliens. I believe that we are an ancient alien culture.
We're created by aliens.
And we were bought, and we were Enoch and Inky and all that stuff, and we were here to mine gold.
Yeah.
And so forth. Okay, all right, so you believe that.
Well, they fucked up when they made us because we're some lazy motherfuckers.
Okay, so here's the thing. You've taken that and said you don't believe in God, and you pushed it on aliens. Well, where did the aliens come from?
Right.
You just pushed the subject out into space now.
Yeah.
So you've just prolonged it. Now it's out in space, and now it's over here in this.
The aliens that made us. Well, who made the aliens?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Did the Big Bang make them? 2 non-existent.
They're non-existent.
Big Bang.
Yeah. So you can't. If you have a painting, you have a painter.
Yeah.
If you have a musical composition, you have somebody who is the musical
Right.
composer. You know, you
Yeah.
can't.
Nothing. This didn't come from nothing.
No,
Right. Someone
you're
made it.
saying that through what do they call that? Where Darwin's theory of
Really,
evolution,
evolution. Yeah.
that eventually the materials in this glass came together and formed the glass perfectly.
Right. Well, yeah, I know.
But you can't,
Yeah.
and they've never found any information or any proof whatsoever that evolution exists
Mhm.
that works.
Right.
I mean, it's everything they say. It just makes it worse and worse. So it's kind of crazy. I just found it interesting. Thought I'd share.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little
Perplexed.
perplexed by the different types of humans there were, Cro-Mag, and all these different types of humans. But maybe there is. If God created, just say, he created two people to begin with, yeah, fucking radiation, whatever, could cause these people to start looking like that. Okay, they're weird. We're going to go over here. Different. There is some sort of evolution, I think, but I think it still started with two.
Oh, and here's a real downer. I'm going to bring it in.
All right.
Being that we've been on a whole downer kick here, this whole
go ahead.
series of
like
beer reviews. Yosemite, right?
Okay.
Going off the subject of
Super volcano?
Big Bang and evolution and so forth. You got the tectonic plates. Right now, it's been pressing against each other. Normally, it moves and everything like that. But these plates have been pressing against each other. Every 250 years, it makes a little shift and it keeps moving, like that. Well, it's already 100 years overdue to make that little movement.
So it's saying,
Yeah. So, as the pressure builds and builds year after year until it moves or explodes, what kind of energy is going to be released from that?
Right.
Now, they say it's enough energy that will change the United States drastically. Not just the United States, but the whole world.
Right.
And you talk about going into a whole, falling in the dark ages type thing.
Yeah, they say even here in Florida, we're like almost one of the furthest points because we're south, and from it, that we'd still get a couple inches of ash from that.
Oh yeah, we get plenty of ash from it.
States that are close to it, especially east of it, would get feet of ash.
Mm-hmm. And that's not just including that, but all the volcanoes in that circle of fire, they call it.
Oh, the Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire.
Pacific, all the way to Asia, all the way around.
Yeah, all those volcanoes, when that hits, releases and everything, what is it going to do to all of them?
Chain reaction.
Yeah. It's going to be odd, huh?
What was that?
That was my phone saying it was fully charged.
Oh, wow, I told you.
Yeah. So that's a real downer. They're saying that, and then there was a prediction by this one biblical scholar that says he saw the Apophis, whatever, the comet, asteroid or whatever, hitting in 2029.
Huh. Who said that?
This one biblical scholar.
Oh.
He had a premonition.
Now, Newton was a mathematical genius. He supposedly did Bible, the kind of where they take every 6 letter and make words. What the hell is it called? I forget what it's called, but he supposedly did that with the Bible. And he mathematically predicted that the end of the world would be 2063.
63.
Something like that. 26 or something.
Well, think about it. If that comet hits in 2029,
yeah,
that would cause us to go into a whole dark age type thing. There'd be somebody that comes along that tries to promise the world, right?
To save it.
Yeah, and he'll be the
Antichrist.
There'd be, 7 years of tribulation?
Yeah.
So now where are we at? 2029?
36.
36.
Let's see what year Isaac Newton, because it says right on Google. It'll tell you. I think it's 63, but oops, wrong number.
Might have been 36.
Oh, shit.
All right, I hear you.
What year did Isaac Newton predict the world to end?
2060.
2060.
According to Wikipedia, in a manuscript Newton wrote in 1704, he describes his attempts to extract scientific information from the Bible. He estimated that the world would end no earlier than 2060.
There's no guarantee, though. He said no earlier than 2060. Well, 2060 was January, and if you're a mathematical genius, how come you didn't have it down to the minute and second? Millisecond.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say 2029 going to 36, then another so many years of torture and torment.
But it always says in the Bible, no man knows except him, the Father. Yeah,
Like a thief in the night.
yeah. Left as a lamb, returned as a lion.
Yeah. But anyway,
Anyway,
did we give a grade on this?
I don't think we did.
I'll give it a C and a swallow.
I give it a C, and I'm going to give it 3/4 swallow, and I can't believe Italy screwed up so bad, man. Like a Euro lager.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite dry beers.
Yeah, it tastes more like a Euro lager with Italy doing it.
I guess you'd have to look at it next time and make sure it doesn't say product of Italy to make sure you're not getting the product.
And then when I talk, if it does, I'm going to talk to the guy at the store. Hey, this shit don't taste like the real stuff. You get the wrong shit. Or you probably want to get if it's still made in Canada.
You're more worried about the Asahi
Japan.
than you're worried about the Miami Pilsner or the Mafia. Whatever.
Yeah, because this has been around. This is a good beer.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm ready to.
And I don't blame the Italians. That's just how they make beer. They make it like European lager. They really jacked it up. I didn't even wonder if there's rice in it. All right. They probably showed the Japish that, hey, look, we can take your beer. We're not going to use rice. We're going to use this. And it almost, it doesn't taste exactly the same, but it's close. Put corn in it.
Well, that's why they probably put on there. We're continuing to and advancing our brewing technology.
Yeah, that's probably why they did it.
And that's their disclaimer.
Right.
You don't know what's good. We do.
I wish some American beers would make some dry beers again. Matter of fact, I'd love to try a craft rice dry beer. That'd be awesome.
Well, just a craft dry beer, period.
Yeah.
Oh, we should look into that.
I think dry beer is a rice beer, straight up rice.
Well, it might be.
All right, well, I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Yes, let's move on, Shagdog. Thanks for watching.
Oh, yeah.
Commenting, subscribing.
Right.
Liking.
Well, I've had dark quick. Huh?
Sharing.
The sun was over here shining on my head earlier.
I'm Jammer. This has been another exciting episode of the Spit or Swallow Beer Review.
Yes.
Jammer is great.